dead nun in his lap.
Yeah, and he's staring over at it.
And then he runs afoul of some bikers.
Yeah, because first of all, bikers show up and they're just like, hey, father, and give him the finger.
Yeah, hey, Padre, and gives him a bird.
That's random. I'm pretty sure actually a lot of bikers are actually surprisingly religious, but cool. And then whilst he's looking at said picture, he runs into one of their bikes, and then they start chasing him. So he's driving away, and they're being chased by the bike. So he figures, I can hide in a drive-in movie theater.
Yep.
So he drives in, and we cut to the most awkward fucking groping session ever, with a chick who's just sitting there smoking a joint watching the movie, and her boyfriend is so sadly, awkwardly feeling her up.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
He's just got one boob, and he's just
creepily touching
like
it.
Like they're Benoit balls.
But it's not even... But he's not even touching the actual boob part, because I'm guessing he's just like, hey, let's have respect for the actress. He's touching the top of her chest more so, and it just looks really awkward, and
now he's just like, let's get it on,
like,
baby.
Now
like,
she goes,
next scene.
Movie. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he goes back to awkwardly feeling her up. This is one of my favorite grope scenes in a movie, because it's just hilarious.
The bikers catch him. Like, they drive, just straight up drive in, and they, like, the guy at the booth is just trying to get him to
like,
stop.
hey, now nobody's stopping. So they drive in, and they start, like, the killer sees it, and he goes, oh, fuck this.
Searching car to car, one of those things. So he dips out of the car,
mm-hmm.
runs afoul of one of the bikers, straight up stabs him.
Yeah,
just like, I'm a man of God. I don't want to stab. You're dead.
And then he jumps into said car with awkward teenage groping happening and throws out the dude.
Where the fucking keys?
Yeah.
In the ignition. Throws him away.
Mm-hmm.
Jumps in the car. Girl still in the back. Kidnaps her.
To be fair, she at least buttons up, which is fair. And then...
he can't kill the nun, so I guess this chick's gonna have to
You'll have to do. So he basically, instead of making things a lot easier on himself, he makes his intentions known very clearly. Like, I'm killing your ass.
So he brandishes the knife immediately, and she basically just goes, listen, we can get it on.
I've got everything. Yeah. Like, I don't have any money, but you can have what I've got plus my ring. And he's just like, holds up the knife. She goes, just don't hurt me. We can get it on, and I won't fight you or anything like that. And he just like, no, you're dying, bitch. And I'm like, you've just screwed yourself. She might not freaking panic so much if she doesn't know what's going to happen, but you're an idiot.
So he stops his car because two drunk guys are just out on the town.
And all of a sudden he doesn't want to hurt people.
Yeah, like, well, if you were a mad serial killer, you would just run them over.
You're like, all right, I'm just going to run them over because fuck them, they're in my way. But I guess he's afraid maybe he'll hurt the car.
I don't know.
But it's
like
really
he's got a weird attachment to his car.
Yeah, so she jumps out, which is, I'm like, wow, a smart girl first of all, she's way too high for her reaction, but cool. But a smart girl in a slasher movie, that's kind of awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who hides and everything, and it just as he's about to get her, cops show up.
Yeah.
To, I think, initially handle the two drunk guys, but then the drunk guys say, oh no, there's a guy with a knife, and he's chasing
that girl. And they go, oh, well, I mean, there is a guy around killing folks, so maybe.
Because the cops are aware by this point. Because he's telling Diane
everybody
where they are,
yeah.
like where the nurse was, where the two girls were. So they're already on the lookout for this guy.
Exactly.
So he's, hey, you over there. So he runs away, and this girl is just saved. We don't see her again. She's just saved.
So he fails.
He fails on the third attempt. Sorry, Aspen, Colorado, you don't get a kill.
Yeah. Do you think they feel bad about that? Like, fuck, we're not good enough.
Oh, we're not good enough to get a kill?
Well, if the killer wasn't so incompetent, we actually might have had a kill.
So the crowd that are, like, throughout this movie, which is the weirdest crowd ever, they're doing the weirdest, like, dance moves.
They were at one point in time moshing to a slow song.
Yeah.
So, these people are not normal.
Ed Clayton gets on there,
he gets on the mic.
Boo! Because he's a cop. He's like, I'm Ed Clayton.
Cops are pigs,
basically, because they're punks. So it's just like, fuck a pig.
Yeah.
Boo! Boo! He's like, shut up.
Did you not hear the murder stuff that's going on?
Building sealed.
Yeah.
If you want to get in or out, you got to go through police escort. No, he's just like, if you leave,
you can't come back in. It's just how we're doing
so
shit.
You're stuck in here for the rest of the night. Boo! Get off the stage. I'm surprised no one threw anything at him.
True.
And then, he's just like, all right, whatever. Gets out of there.
So he goes out, and then he goes to talk to Blaze, and she's just like, hey, what the fuck was that all about?
They've brought in Dr. Reed.
Remember how we were talking
psychologist?
Remember we were talking about the
extraordinaire.
ticket taker guy making a choice? This motherfucker made a choice, too.
Oh, I don't know what movie he was in.
I don't know, but he was trying his
this, like, psychobabble of, like, we need to try to understand this killer.
Yes, it is very important we understand what he means. Like, this dude does Shakespeare.
He clearly has mother issues.
Mm-hmm. Because he mutilates their breasts, which is clear for anyone who has mother issues. I'm like, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Just not at all. Because we saw two of the victims. Because one thing, we're seeing him finding all the victims.
Yeah, the nurse is stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, we found
when
her.
When they find Sally and Lisa.
Yeah.
They're in a park.
Yeah, they're in a kid's park, and he's propped up.
Sally's been propped up, and Lisa comes down the slide.
Because, you can make that happen in movies where, somebody shows up, body gets released.
Yeah. It's like, was there like a pulley system?
Yeah,
like
there's a pulley system. They tripped the switch when they walked over. But yeah, nobody's boobs were mutilated, so I don't know where this comes from.
There was a boob kind of awkwardly groped earlier, but
that was the most boob we've had in this movie. So, this movie has a lot of, like, tell not show. Like, there's a reference earlier, there's a reference later that I'll get to in a minute. Sorry.
I think it's at this point, or maybe it was even earlier, where Derek has said red pantyhose on his head.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ear pierced, and now has these, like, weird-ass...
They're, Bebop sunglasses.
Yeah, Bebop sunglasses.
If you watch
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, Bebop and Rocksteady, Bebop had these exact sunglasses. It must have been an 80s thing.
Like, super thin, rectangular shaped sunglasses.
And they look like they only have, like, a line that you can see through. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're, like, brightly colored. I don't know, weird.
And this doesn't amount to anything.
No,
he's just hearing people talk, and it just shows him, and then he kind of just slinks away.
Well, this is where my problem comes in, because, by the way, I can fix the twist ending, but moving on.
So, Evil gets to the hotel, sees that it's blocked off. Yes. Some guy's trying to get in, he can't get in. So he goes through the side, sees there's a cop at the side door, does one of those, like, "Hey, officer! I think we got a drunk guy here."
Yeah.
And that works. Because then the officer's just like, "Well, there's a drunk guy.
I guess I'll leave my post for the drunk guy."
Gets hit with a brick. His uniform's taken. Evil is now a cop. I'm like, why would the other cop, who has not seen this guy all night, who has a case with him, like a suitcase around his arm,
like, why would we allow this? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's a movie and we have to have a plot somehow?
So, the cops and Diane find out about Derek. Or find Derek, and they're just like, he's in his room, right?
Yep.
Because it's Sergeant Green.
Yeah.
Takes Diane to her room because she's got to change, but, I got to make sure.
You got to check on my kid. And he's just there, everything's cool.
Well, he's just like, no, it's not checking her kid, she needs to change, and he's just in her room.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That freeze!" It's like, that's my son, you asshole.
Like,
just like,
Jesus, stop being a dick.
And speaking of dicks, in a mask, we get this guy showing up to her, scares her, and then he takes the mask off, and it's Evil. But who is Evil? Her husband, who's been referenced several times in the beginning of the movie. Like, your dad's in Palm Springs, Malibu or something.
Getting high.
Yeah.
And she doesn't question this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
And he just basically goes, "Well, Derek's been trying to tell you he's got a surprise. I was the surprise."
No, that wasn't. He said what the surprise was. So no.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
And then he introduced himself to the cop, just like,
"I'm her husband.
Oh, can you verify that?" "Yeah, he's my husband." He's like, "Well, geez, mister, how'd you get in here? Because the building's on lockdown." "No, it's your manager okayed it."
Yeah. It's like, no, that I don't think he has that power, but okay.
And, the cops find out, it's just like, well, we just found this guy's car. They connected to the murders.
Yep.
They realize, you said you okayed it. He's like, "I did not okay anything.
I haven't talked to anyone."
They're just like, "I knew he was a psycho."
Well, no, you didn't, but you think you're pretending you did, so haha. Success?
Yeah, because we later find out that he spent some time in the sanitarium that he was at.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, again, we have to have excuses for this. They're like, "Oh yeah, he was there at one point."
He's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
it runs in the family, hence the son.
Yeah, so Evil knocks out Green in the elevator. Pretty much reveals himself to Diane, plays the tapes of the murders.
Yeah.
Basically says all women are just the worst.
Yeah. This is weird.
It's very incel-y.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Watching this back through a 2019 prism, it's like, whoa, Jesus.
Yeah, because he's like, all women are naggy and they get on your case and they're
all
the
fucking
worst.
awful and like she's the worst of them all because he starts referencing shit that I'm like, we haven't seen any of that shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is off screen. What you're talking about?
Like,
all this shit she's doing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's a horrible mother. I'm like, no, she just seems distracted today. Oh, you're throwing yourself at your son. I'm like, that never happened once. We never got anything even remotely inappropriate. And I'm like, if you're going to say that, you probably should show something like that. This is awkward. Okay.
Ties her up to an elevator and then sends it up.
This is clever. I like this.
Sends it up.
Yeah.
And he's got this system, like he's opened up a power box, and he's figured out a way to pretty much lock the elevator so the emergency stop won't work.
Yeah.
So he brings her all the way up, just so when I guess somebody gets on, when it goes down...
It'll go down, and it won't
and
stop,
she'll
get crushed. This is clever because most people in Hollywood, when they use elevators, they always forget that there's a safety feature.
Yeah.
If the fucking cables even get cut on an elevator, there's a safety feature that will stop it immediately. He bypassed that.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Which
I've never seen
I guess
that.
he's got an engineering in elevators
degree.
I don't know.
He was probably spending more time learning all this shit about elevators than he was actually planning the murders, because clearly this goes really badly.
Well, when she goes all the way up, he perfectly times it to where she finds Yvonne's head.
Yeah. That's just... fantastic.
So, like, he puts it there knowing the elevator's going to stop there and she's going to see it and it freak. I don't know.
Pretty clever.
Pretty clever, I guess.
Weird,
there's a shootout with the cops. He runs up to the roof, puts the mask on.
Yeah.
Quotes, I'm assuming Shakespeare of some sort.
Yeah,
sort of
sounds like whatever. It. I meant to look it up. And
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Yeah.
And then he jumps.
I don't like this ending.
And then kills himself.
Yep. That's just...
Is it because he just assumed, well, my work's done, my bitch of a wife's dead?
Yeah, he Bond villained it.
Yeah,
like,
so
I ain't gonna stick
mission
around
accomplished.
So she's dead. I don't care. I don't need to be around. It's weird.
Because he knew he wasn't getting out alive, right?
Yeah.
Because he knew it's either, well, it's jail or forever or whatever, maybe a death penalty. I don't know if California had the death penalty back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Probably.